Hey, internet. Hi, it's me, Mike. Well, I never thought I'd make a video about this before, but here are 4 tips that'll make your vlogging experience a lot better. So, I've been publishing videos on YouTube for like 3 or 4 months now. And while I realize that doesn't make me the most seasoned of YouTubers, I have learned a lot in that time, and I feel like I've come a long way too. So if you're new to making videos, then we're in the same boat. And so I wanted to make this video so that I could share some of the things that I've learned with you. And hopefully there'll be things that you find useful too. Think of this as advice from one newbie to another. By the way, if I haven't mentioned this already, I just came back from a trip to Washington. So if you see some footage that I'm sitting in a forest or something, it's from that trip. Okay, let's get started. Tip number 1. If you've ever recorded yourself in public before, you know what a terribly gut-wrenching feeling that could be. I mean, let's be real. Doing this type of motion in public is not normal. Not normal at all. And so people are gonna stare. And for me personally, it makes me feel like a narcissist. Like everybody around me is looking and judging, like I'm some kind of freak with a camera and a fuzzy microphone. It gives me the creeps just thinking about it. It's called a dead cat, by the way. So here's what you do in that situation. Picture everyone around you naked. Just kidding. So if you're out and about in a public place, the library, the grocery store, the laundromat, the local Outback Steakhouse,
train stations, men's rooms,
flower shops, fireworks celebrations,
fence with a hole in it,
moonlit gondola, carriage ride through Central Park.
And you have the option of bringing someone along with you, do it. Engage with them. Have them prompt you about what you see in your surroundings, what you think about global warming, Space Force, childhood obesity, postmodern art, grilled cheese sandwiches.
The woods behind the liquor store, the swamp behind the old folks' home.
Electric car dealership.
Just talk to them. Have a conversation. About half of the anxiety that I get when I'm vlogging in public has to do with the fact that I'm talking to myself. I mean, in a way I'm talking to you out there, but that's not what it feels like in the moment. It feels like you're talking to yourself. There's no getting around that. So if you bring someone with you, then you're just talking to a friend. And as a bonus, you can use them as a camera person. Tip number 2. This tip is kind of related to the last one. So I just came back from a trip to Washington. We went to Mount Rainier and Olympic National Park, and as expected, it was amazing. And I wanted to be able to include all the scenery in this talking head type of vlog, but there were a lot of people there. And so once again, I'm faced with having to talk directly to the camera in public. I have to make something that's completely unnatural look natural. And I know part of me thinks that I just need to get over it and not care what other people think. But I think that's easier said than done. I mean, I did just make a video where I was talking about my bowel movements inside of a Costco, so cut me some slack. So what do you do when you want to capture all the beautiful scenery around you, but at the same time you don't want to be a weirdo vlogging in public? Here's my advice to you. Rather than try to vlog at the main attraction where there'll be crowds of people walking right through your shot, kids yelling in the background, parents chasing after them, you know how it goes. It's a mess. Look at this drainage pipe right next to me. Nature. Instead, here's what you do. Avoid that altogether and just go a little bit off trail. Okay, pause. So as I'm editing this video, I get an alert that says, Peter McKinnon just posted a new video. And I was like, great, I'll just take a break and watch it. I love Peter McKinnon. And then as I was watching it, I was like, whoa, there are certain similarities between our 2 videos. He was in a national park, I was in a national park. There were fires in British Columbia, and there were fires in Washington. He saw a chipmunk, I saw a chipmunk. But then as I keep watching it, my jaw just drops.
I'm gonna give you guys a travel tip. When you explore, no matter where you explore.
Don't say it.
There are always going to be tourist
spots. No, Pete, don't say it.
Those places are usually
Don't you dare say it, Peter.
You get to those spots and you wander off the beaten path.
No! Why did you have to go and say the same thing as me? My video is ruined! You evil, evil genius. Actually, this isn't such a big deal. I just wanted to point this out in case you think I'm blatantly ripping him off. Which I'm not. In fact, later in this video, I talk about Peter again. So I have no problem giving him credit. Anyways, back to the video. Find yourself a nice secluded spot that is representative of the overall ecosystem that you find yourself in, and no one's gonna bother you because you're all alone. But watch out for bears and cougars. All right, it is time to start vlogging. And here's a bonus tip. When you're driving through these national parks, there's often these little pullouts on the side of the road. Look how amazing this looks, it's just like off the side of the road. If you just park your car in one of those, walk about 50 feet, you'll be completely secluded. So when I'm trying to have some good old-fashioned one-on-one time with the camera, that's my go-to move. The next 2 tips pertain more to having to record video when you're by yourself. So that brings us to tip number 3. So here's the situation. I don't trust my camera's autofocus system, so I only use manual focus. That means that when I find the exact right place where I want to stand to record, sometimes I can't quite reach that focus ring without changing position, and then I get a blurry shot. No bueno. Now, full disclosure, I don't know if this tip's gonna work. I've never tried it before, but here we go. So my plan is to print out a picture of my head, I'm gonna glue it on some cardboard, and then I'm gonna attach that to a light stand. The light stand is gonna stand where I stand, then I can walk to the back of the camera, grab focus, and then switch spots. I'm gonna attempt to do that right now. Hey, Internet. Hi, it's me, Mike. Tip number 4. When you're recording your videos, try to include a wide variety of camera angles. That's especially true if you're recording B-roll. I think sometimes people forget that their audience wasn't actually there to experience the same thing that they did. And you, the storyteller, needs to recognize that. The only way for the audience to get a sense of where this video takes place is if you show them. And you show them through the lens of the camera. You need to use the camera to build this environment inside the mind of the audience. Peter McKinnon made a great video about this topic. I'm gonna leave a link in the description. But one thing that I wanna add to that is only use all of those camera angles if they make sense. I sometimes find myself wanting to use a certain piece of footage because you know how much work it took to get that shot. So if you could just squeeze it in there, but no, don't do it. If it doesn't improve your narrative, then just leave it out. Economists have a term for this called the sunk cost fallacy. It's for this reason that you go to an all-you-can-eat buffet and stuff yourself beyond any reasonable level of comfort because you already spent the $30. I'm talking from experience here. Okay, so that's all the tips that I have today. Let me know in the comments down below if you found any of these tips helpful for you. And also let me know if you tried the head double thing and if it actually works. I'm curious. Okay, you know how these things go. I'm gonna step aside. My head's gonna pop up right up here. If you click on it, you'll subscribe to my head, or better yet, I'll do one of these things. Click around this region to subscribe, and then there'll be another video for you to watch over here. So yeah, if there's anyone out there watching, thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.